Hey, what's going on, guys? Alex with NBC 11 Alive. Team 1-1, born to compete. I got a guy right here with me, and let me get the introduction right. 8-time B2C state championship, won the Frank Ski Bowl, including that. Multiple Coach of the Year awards, the most winningest coach in the history of B2C, and to go along with the #1 ranked team in the country. Coach Shawn Moffett, coach of the Dream Team. Coach, how you doing, Coach?
It feels good. I will say this, though, Alex. I will
Yes,
say
sir.
this. It's lonely at the top. It's
Is it?
lonely at the top. It's lonely. We've been here so long, me and my staff, and those great group of guys I coach with, but it's lonely. You know what I mean? We already know, okay, we're going to start. We're going to get here a bunch. It's going to be front runners at every season. It's the same. They're going to get the front runners. Then we beat all of them. And then at the end of the year, at the end of the day, it's always one team holding that trophy. And it's the Dream Team. So it feels good. It's lonely, but it feels great. I'm not going to lie.
Coach, you know what? You had a lot of success, man. Let's just say for younger coaches. If young coaches out there and they say, hey, Coach Shawn, you know, what's a piece of advice you can give us? What would you say?
That's a great question. You know, first off, you just got to, whatever process you come up with, well, first off, you want to start by going around, you know, see who the great coaches are. See who's winning. That's on collegiate, that's in high school, NFL, wherever it is where you're going to get your inspiration from. Then you come up with a system that you believe in. You know, I personally went around and looked at some of the great coaches here in Atlanta, and I learned from each and every one. And then I put it all together with what I was bringing to the table, which, you know, created my success equation. So once you get that part of it and you understand, you have a system on what you're going to run and how you're going to do it, you implement it. Then after that, just be zero tolerance. Zero tolerance. And you could talk to any of my parents. You know, last year we had a great season. And, you know, I had some parents that were out of line. Great kids. They had some great kids. But I showed everybody, one thing you don't let anybody come in and try and get a discount at your program. So a lot of people, they'll come to your team because they want to be a part of this winning, but they want to do it on a discount. So I showed everybody. I cut about 5 parents. I didn't cut kids because I love those kids. They were great kids. So I cut that out. And as you see, we went on a run to finish that season we ran through everybody in the B2C. Then we went down to Florida. Everybody had us pick to lose. We ran through everybody in Florida. And it was just great. I mean, it was really just rewarding at the end of the season.
You know, it's funny. I was just about to ask that, you know, with those personnel changes you had kind of in the middle of the year, towards the end of the year, and to go in B2C against a pretty good competition, including the Duluth team that everybody was excited about seeing you guys play. My goodness, man. How were you able to right the ship? You know what I'm saying? Because personnel changes like that late in the season, that's tough, man.
It was no different when we started the season out. We went to California. I had a bunch of injuries. We put the next man up. So if you really believe in the next man up, a lot of us say that, the next man up. We actually showed it and illustrated that out there. And Duluth, don't get me wrong, Duluth has some kids you're going to see on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah. You know what? Out of all your championships, you won 8 of them, all-time winningest coach in B2C history. Which one was probably your most memorable? Was it last year or was it another year? You know what I mean? You've had a lot of them.
Last year is neck and neck. Now, let me tell you about this, okay?
Neck and neck. All right, tell me.
With this one and the very first one, Johns Creek. They were similar.
Oh, that was a
similar,
good one.
right? You know, they had the all-pro Chris Hinton, you know, coaching a team, and they destroyed everybody in Atlanta. Destroyed everybody in Atlanta. And so with what he did, and no one gave us a chance. And then what Duluth last year, they came out and kicked North Henry's tail. And everybody just like, man, y'all getting ready to lose. And I'm like the only person like, we're going to embarrass them. And I'm like the only one in the crowd saying, you're going to see tomorrow. And for us, you know, and my staff, what the clinic we put on, it was just, it was beautiful. So that one, with the adversity, what the team went through last year, and to be able to go in and put on a clinic in the B2C and put a running clock. And like I said, 99-16, you're going to see those guys. They're going to be Power 5 schools. I guarantee it. Unless something in their trajectory goes different. But they're going to be playing somewhere. So, you know, we'll be able to look back and say, hey, we kicked your tail. Just like this young man getting ready to go play with Rodriguez at Kentucky.
Yeah.
And I told him to say, I said, when you get up there, you make sure first thing you tell Rodriguez, you got to practice with the one coach that kicked his tail in Little League. You know, send him that message. He'll remember who I am.
And so, Rodriguez is as good as they come in Kentucky. He's the real deal. And the thing is, what Shawn is talking about, Coach Shawn is talking about, that Johns Creek team ended up with 4 All-Americans. That is crazy. J.D. Bertrand, Chris Hinton Jr., Miles Hinton, who's at Stanford, Chris Hinton's at Michigan, J.D. Bertrand's at, I think, Notre Dame somewhere. And it was Still Chambers, who's at Ohio State right now. Ended up actually being the player of the year in Georgia one year. Phenomenal team. And that team he beat, obviously, was a great team. Now, Coach, last year with this group, man, the slogan right now is Victory Lap.
Victory Lap.
And you've had a great run with this group. Tell me about it. Why is the slogan Victory Lap, Coach?
Man, because it's from start to finish. You know, the work that these kids have put in, and it's literally it's our last chance. So being that it's my second time with a group, I know it's over after this.
Yeah.
So I'm really just trying to take in every moment. I'm trying to take in every practice, just really take it all in. And then once they're gone, is it. You know, I'm showing up to high school games, and you know, just like with my last group of kids, they come and work with me in the summer, you know, stuff like that. So I'll still carry on with them like that. But this is truly going to be over with. And so with this group, it's such an exceptional group. I just really want to showcase. So I'm hoping this coronavirus doesn't save a lot of these coaches that are going to get put in the blender. I promise you. I promise you.
And for those that don't know, what Coach Shawn is talking about when he says they work with him, Coach Shawn owns a couple of businesses, and he allows the kids to come work with him. It's a great way, man. Come home during the summer if they're in high school or in college, man, make a little bit of money, man, so they can put it in their pocket and, you know, and go ahead and go on doing what they need to do. Now, with this being the Victory Lap, I'm sure you circled that calendar for some teams you're going to play. You know, and here's the thing about the youth football world. Our schedule is not quite set just yet like the high school schedule is. So, hey, bear with us. We're all right. We're going to get it taken care of. But what teams, I should say, are you excited about playing this year? What teams have your attention?
Locally, nobody. So, like, that's like they've been our doormats. We've run through everybody here. We've already put them in the blender. What I want y'all to do locally, and hear me clearly out here, I want all of you guys to combine, do a Georgia national all-star team, whatever rhetoric you want to call it. I want all you to combine. And then you come knock on our door, and you're going to find out. So the teams abroad that we're looking at, Southside Ducks, they've been running their mouth. We're supposed to fly out to San Antonio to play them in August. And this Watkins Hornets. This is another team
I heard about them. Yeah.
Out of the DMV. We don't want nobody but them, Joe. Everybody else, we just going to run through you. And then when we play through them, we're going to run through them because they've been running they got a fat mouth. So we just got to teach a lesson. We got to teach a lesson. They will be held accountable this year.
All right, you got some adjustments you got to make. You got to make adjustment at quarterback. You know, let's talk about that a little bit. You added Sincere from Georgia Rattlers, who is one of the best players out there defensively. I just think that kid is special, man. I mean, he's the real deal. So let's talk about that. So first, talk about the quarterback position.
Okay, so I brought in 2 quarterbacks, which, you know, gives me a little bit more of an option this year. Because, you know, a lot of stuff, when the older you get, you want to try and be able to do RPOs, but you got to be able to run.
Yes.
And so I have Mike from North Henry, exceptional kid. I mean, this kid has a big arm, you know. So I brought in him. I brought in Shawn from Georgia Rattlers. And these two, they've just been battling. You know, I really hate that we didn't get an opportunity to do 7-on-7 because of Corona. Because it was their opportunity to showcase. But they've been going at it in practice. I mean, and neither one is backing down. So as of right now, who's going to be the starter? I don't know. You know what I mean? But I like the fact that they're competing, they're understanding the offense, and they're getting better every day. I just left from practice now, you know, and they just went at it until the lights went out. So 2 exceptional kids. I'm telling you, you guys are going to be surprised.
Well, we're looking forward to that, man. What Shawn's talking about, both of those guys are fantastic players, man. Now, talking about Sincere, the linebacker, running back. I mean, yes, he can't play running back, but just defensively, that's kind of where I'm going at it with it. My goodness, he's as good as they come.
He's as good as they come. You got to see how fast he is. You know what I mean?
Really? He's got faster?
Him and Bugatti, they're neck and neck. Like he smoked. Those are the 2 fastest on the team right now. I mean, they raced. But I was just like, you know, Coach Rob, who came over, he joined my staff. You know, he was talking about how fast he was, and I'm just like, man, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. Everybody says they're fast until they race, and that kid really showed me something. I mean, he's exceptional. So you're gonna see just a kid that's gonna be knocking kids out. So here's the reality for you local guys out there. you guys couldn't beat Rob and them.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't win already.
Yeah.
They couldn't beat these guys, these players. Now these players over with the team that you couldn't beat in your life. You put it together. You know what I mean? Just think about this for a second. Now you put it all together. Now, come on, man. Come on. Can you just give me the trophy now? Can I have the trophy now?
So you're saying the Frank Ski Bowl is a done deal. You're gonna win your second Frank Ski Bowl and go down with I think Trez 1-2, Coach Tim 1-2, and Coach Mario 1-2. That's a short list. That's a short list.
It's very short. Time just has to catch up though, because we've already won. Time has to catch up. I mean, just look at the playing field. You tell me, who do you think?
You know, I tell you what, man, we don't know, man. As we always say, man, every year is going to be
I do know. You don't know. I know. I'm just telling you. Anybody in Georgia is going to be put in the buzzsaw. I don't care who you are, whatever you think you could do. They're getting put in the buzzsaw. The only thing at this point in time that could save you, Georgia, the only thing is Corona. So some of y'all out there praying, coughing on people, trying to pass it, whatever you're trying to do, hoping that they call it. Don't hope. We're going to bust you. I promise you.
Now, Coach, I know you always like to give props to your players, and people actually fail to forget this. When we talk about player of the years and different things like that, and even at the game, you know, he's like, yo, man, recognize all of them if you can. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, we just can't. You know, it's just a reality of it. The budget only goes so far. But unless offensively, I know you kind of want to talk about him in an overview, and defensively talk about an overview. Just whoever you want to talk about. If you just want to talk about him as a whole, you can.
Right. So, you know, we got the superstars. You know what I mean? We got the top best in the nation. Bugatti, best in the nation.
He's good.
You know what I mean? You look at Ryan, best in the nation. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you one kid I want to highlight. Well, it's actually two, because Ant, this guy is just a heavy hitter. He doesn't get the accolades that he deserves. You know what I mean? Because he's just a quiet kid. But Ant, if you look at last season, if we didn't have Ant, they probably wouldn't have finished the way.
Anthony Moon. Yes, gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, really, and I'm gonna just go on the record right now, because I know it was a busy game and you guys picked. Yeah. Truly, the coaching staff, we felt he deserved player of the game that game in the B2C championship, especially after we broke down the video and all the stuff that he did. I mean, he's just an exceptional kid with a bright future. And then the other kid I want to highlight that never gets, like, he's unsung.
Let me say this real quick. I'm gonna jump in real quick. I know you're about to say something, but also too, we want to throw this in there. Anthony Moon is a heck of a baseball player too, guys. If this kid ends up getting drafted, don't be surprised. He is absolutely that good in baseball as well. All right, go ahead with your next player, Coach.
Yeah. I'm just, I'm fussing at his dad now about missing practice for baseball. So don't even bring that up. But my unsung person from age 6 all the way now is number 39, Jareek.
I like him a whole lot.
He's behind the scenes. He doesn't get the credit because he's not the flashy guy. But nobody on this planet or in Georgia, I say that, it works like this. My man works. You know what I mean? I mean, he's just really, Big Mike's out there at practice. I mean, he challenged me last year on how much running we do, and he brought his best player, J5, just on conditioning. J5 is a great player, but no one can keep up with him. Yeah. And he's there is no gray area. He's not going to come out and have a bad day and just go half gear. He's going to give you everything he got all day, all night. So for him, he's the kid that he doesn't get the accolades. He really deserves it. People are going to see him, and that's why I tell him, even though you don't get to shine now, we're going to see you on Friday nights and then Saturdays. You're going to laugh then. So yeah, exceptional kid.
Yeah, that's what we try to tell people, man. Even when you're at that high school level, you have two things that succeed. You have superstars, and we all know those superstars are. They're touched by God. Now, that's reality. And then you have grinders. Superstars and grinders. Grinders sometimes make it to the league. You know what I'm saying? And that's, guys, that is the fact. Everybody talks about A.J. Terrell. A.J. Terrell as a youth football player he was okay. He was okay. Right. But he was a grinder, worked, and eventually went to Clemson and kind of did his thing. All right, Coach, last question, man, before I let you go, man. You've been a great interview, Coach Shawn Moffett with the Dream Team, number one team in the country. Coach Shawn.
On God, on earth.
At the end let's say in the universe, then. Number one team in the universe.
It is. You go check Mars, you can't find nobody to beat us.
Why do we limit ourselves to the stars around here? Extend it to the Milky Way galaxy.
You might as well. Why not? We here.
So, Coach, at the end of the season, what are we going to say about the dream team? And individually, I'm going to ask a little bit selfishly, what are we going to say about you as well?
Oof. As far as the team is going to go down in history of Atlanta, you know, we're going to put a stamp on it. One of the best teams to ever make a dynasty run. It was like I told you before, there's only probably 2 other teams that have gone on this type of run. You got Union City, and then you have Brandon Morton, what he did with the Ducks. Yeah. Those are the only 2 that I've seen do something similar on what we're trying to replicate right now. So at the end of the day, that's the stamp we're going to have. The only difference between those 2 great teams, great coaches, et cetera, is not only are we going to dominate here in Georgia, as we've already done, but when we look back, you make me want to run downstairs and go get that crystal ball trophy. And I'm just saying, it's something about when you sit there and you hold a trophy that probably weighs more than most people's toddlers, right?
That's true.
It's beautiful.
It's a nice trophy.
It's beautiful. It's a nice trophy, but it's nice knowing that you beat the best in the nation. So that's what we're going to be saying as far as that's concerned. As far as myself, I don't know if I want to be done. I want to be done, but then I don't know if I want to be done. But I like what the part I played in Atlanta football, changing its trajectory from when, 16 years ago when I started. Yeah. It definitely wasn't like this.
Not at all.
B2C came about and what you've done to change youth football in Atlanta. So I just want, just go out as one of the greats and then either drop back down and start with another group and go on another run and win again, because winning is a habit that I teach. It's not coincidental, people. Some of y'all think it's just happen chance. It's not. It's a habit.
Coach, I'm going to give you one shot. I just talked with Coach Brandon Morton yesterday. He said, Alex, this is the reason why we are the best team in the history of B2C. Then the Ackworth coach called me. He told me his reason. Then the McKeitron coach called me. He told me his reason. So I got about 5 or 6 different coaches. Coach Mario came out the blue and called, shot me a text. I didn't have his number no more. I didn't know who was calling me. I had his screen called. Sorry, Coach Mario. I apologize. I answered his call eventually. Coach, if your team wins this year, which you see is a foregone conclusion, why are you guys considered the best team in history?
We are the best in history because of the adversary, the adversity, that we've gone through. We've won at 6. We didn't have the best, greatest name kids. 7U, they put this all-star team together. Somebody called the Ducks. We put Guy in the blender. You were there. You lived it. We destroyed them. 8U, they came back and did it again. You were there. You lived it. We destroyed them.
The push gate.
The push gate, right. You know what I mean? Frustrated that they're losing. They couldn't handle what was going to get ready to happen. So let's try and do a diversion. But we moved on. 9U, same thing. ABA tried to do it. My brother Hilt, who is an excellent trainer. Yes. Excellent trainer. He stepped in. I had to put him in the blender. Over with. 10U. Who did we beat at 10U? I don't know. We won. It was easy. At this point, it's an autopilot.
Okay.
Destroyed them. Then we get to 11U. And again, I got rid of all those sour grapes, right? And you get up there, you said Duluth's going to win. You and brother.
That's what we predicted. Yeah,
you and brother.
On V103.
However, y'all said they were going to win. We ran through there, destroyed everybody. So now we're here for the Victory Lap Last Dance Tour. You will see. That's why at the end of the day, you're going to say, you know what? Dream Team is the greatest team in the history of youth football in Atlanta, Georgia.
Tell you what, man, that is my guy, Shawn Moffett. Say what you want to say about him. Look, at the end of the day, results do not lie. I don't care what you say, how you shape it, how you form it. Results
They
not
don't.
lie. 8 B2C state championships, multiple Coach of the Year awards. I have never, ever seen him lose a big game. Plain and simple.
Doesn't happen.
Plain and simple. When the chips are on the line, his team has walked away with the championship. Hey, guys, make sure you catch us. NBC 11 Live, Team 1-1 with Jeff Hullinger and the crew. And, of course, us, Born to Compete, the #1 segment in the country. Take care.
Dream Team.